I went over the instructions, looking at Voltar's video. What we're going to do is we're going to do the back part first. This mod consists of this board right here, which is the QSB. So I have to line up all of those points on the board and then solder it up all so that it is in place. Something like that. Now, I went over the instructions, both the written instructions and Voltar's video. So, line up the QSB board is the first thing, is the first order of business. And now before I do that, I have to take off coating of 2 vias. And I actually put 2 arrows here. I'm going to show them. Okay, so that is one right there. I have to take off the coating from that via, and the other one is this one right there. So I'll scratch that off in a second. I'll scratch it off and then apply some solder so that it's ready to anchor the board. Before I do that, I just want to put some tape here because this copper shield is just moving around so much. Let me just hold it down in place like that. Okay, so then let's go ahead and start. And then I've previously already lined it up and made sure that is the correct, but just so that it's in the video too. All right. So let's see. All right, there you see it, where I need to scratch off the via. So we're going to line it up. Now, Voltar says that you really need to the first point he solders really is this one right here. Let me point to it. This one right there. So that's really the first point you'll do. But pretty much, like I said, you're going to have to line it up like that. So I've got 3 points right there. One over here. And then all these over here lined up, and this here. And then there's your other arrow. So you see, those are all the points I need to solder. Okay. So that's how the QSB is going to fit. Let's go ahead and use our knife. And then let's scrape. Let's see, let's expose some of the copper here. It says to do it gently. So I'm just holding it like a pen. So what you want to expose here is the copper, really, because you're going to put some solder here. And that is how that end of the QSB is going to anchor to this spot. Okay. Let's see what that did. I've got some alcohol here. I want to go ahead and okay. You've noticed there that the copper is pretty reflective. I think that should be good. Let's go to the other one. Right there. And let's do the same on this via. Okay. Just scratch that off. Now, I don't want to do it too much. Just safely around that area so that I can get some solder in there. Let's see what that did. Oh, that's not the. I see some of the copper. Let's remove some of. Right here on the top. Okay. You can see it pretty clear right there. That point and that point right there. Okay, so then let's go ahead and put some solder in there. You know what, let's clean that up right there, because I already know that's the spot right here. I forget that I have to pre-tin. There's a spot, and I'll pre-tin. That's one right there, and then I'll do the same over here. So I'm pre-tinning off camera, but you can see it right there, like that, and then just a little blob right there. A little bit of flux, and just touch it up here. You know what? I think this needs a little bit more. All right, I want to focus on this point right there. You know what I'll do? I'll go ahead and it's this, where is it? This spot right there. I'll add some more flux on this one, just so that I know. Right there. That's going to help put it in place. Okay. So that should help me out better. Where am I? Right there. See? And it helps anchor right there. Okay. That's good right there. That's good. That's good. And that's good. And over here, that's also good. Good. Okay. Now, let's go ahead and I'm going to use one hand here. So with my left hand, I'm holding it in place. I don't want to get too far. At that point, I don't want to make it too far away. Okay, that should be good enough. That one's good right there. That one's good right there. These two are good right there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I moved it again. Let's see, right there. All of those are lined up. Like that. Okay, I'm gonna relax a little bit here. But with my left hand, I'm keeping those in place. So I'm holding it with my left hand. Let's put some flux here. And then let's tack this one into place. Ooh, don't push down too hard. Okay. And then let's do, and then now he said to go to the other side and tack this one on. So let's do that. Put some flux right there. I'm pre-tinning it. And then I'm gonna do that one right there. Okay. So that should be holding them in place. And then I can let go. And then let's do this one right here. Okay, perfect. That one's done. I think we can now go to this one. Let's go to these three and tack those in place. I'm going to use my finger to hold it down. Oops, turn it a little bit. And then solder it in. Wait. What is this here? Okay, there we go. Now let's do these two spots right there. It's pre-tin. Okay, and then we're going to do right there. And then that other one right there. There you go. Okay, I'll clean it at the end. Now let's do these two here. And we can go to the rest. Okay. Sorry. Let's do these two right here. Okay. Right here we're going to do one. Put a little more. Okay, and then we're going to do this one over here. Let's tack this corner right there. Why is it not? Is that connecting? Yes. Okay. Put a little bit more of. I don't want to do it directly on it. I'm going to do this to make sure it's holding on, and it is. You know what? I kind of feel like over here on this side, I need a little bit more. Okay, that looks way better. Okay. Now we've got these three and all these to go, and that one too. All right, so let's put some flux in here. I increased my temperature to 652 because I think I was going too cold. So let's put some spray tin right here, and then let's just push them down like that. And then spray tin right here too. Go down, straight down, like that. A little bit more. Clean my tip off. And then let's do that corner right there. All right. Okay. There we go. We got those 3. Let's work on these 6 over here. Let's apply some flux. And then let's apply some on my tip. I'm going to do this one right here. Fill that up. Okay. Let's do the next one to it. Put a little more. Fill it in. Okay. Now let's take care of the 2 on the outside. One right there. And then another one over here. Perfect. And then there's 2 more over here. Perfect. And then finally, this one over here. Okay, and then we've got this other point. Let's put some more. Perfect. Okay, and I think, oh, that one's ready. I think that's all. Is that it? Let me clean this up with some alcohol. See what it looks like. Okay. It's good. This looks good over here. These 3 look good there. Clean this one over here. Those look good. That looks good. And then this top one looks good. That looks good. Yeah, I think we're all set. Now I need to go to the next step, which is I'll turn the board around. Okay, this I believe is the oscillator, and I need to get rid of this resistor right there. And then I'm going to run a wire from this APLL point to, I believe, this point right there. So that's what I need to do next. Let's see. Okay, review all solder joints and clean any leftover flux of Q-tips. Okay, I've done that. Need to remove resistor 221. Actually, it's 122 because it's upside down here, or 221, 122, whatever. It's good. Apply flux, pre-tin the tip, and then gently push the resistor off to the side. So I've got to be careful here. Obviously, not to knock this capacitor off. So I need to sort of push it down this way, in this direction, downward, so that I don't knock this capacitor off, this ceramic capacitor. So that's what I'll do. I'll put some flux, pre-tin my tip, and then just knock it off right there. Okay, so let's apply some flux to that one. Let's pre-tin right here, and then let's just touch it and then push it down. Ooh, that was really easy. I'm gonna grab it with my tweezers. All right, it's right there. There it is. Yeah. All right, we've removed resistor 221. Yeah, I need to run a wire from the APLL. From the instructions, it looks like it's this point right there that I need to run the wire to. So like I said, it's this point right there that I'm going to add some. I'm going to add some more solder. So right there. Add some more so that it's some. Okay. Now we're going to run wire from here to this point right there. Also, oops. Now that I'm pointing you at this spot right there, let's apply some flux and then tin that spot. Perfect bead. Look at that. Now, let's grab some wire. Let's see, how long does it need to be? It's about, let's see, about that long. I'll put some new flux. Then the wrapping, I'm going to use the heat to sort of get rid of the wrapping. And just do this here. Tug on it a little bit. Stay in there. What's going on? Okay. Let's pick this up right here. All right, now I'm going to bring this wire over to this spot. All right, so I'm going to cut it a little bit to length. Let's say right about there. That should be good enough. And then I'll just go ahead and let's see if I can do it this way. Yeah, there you go. Okay, peel it off. And then let's tack it into place. It's kind of ugly, but that will do. All right, now let's clean it up again. Let's clean up the area here. I don't like that it looks like that, to be quite honest. Let's put a little bit of more solder. I want to completely cover it. There you go. That makes me feel a little bit better. And that's it. We're done. Just checking my work here. Okay, so I'm cleaning pretty much at normal eye level, sort of speak. Why is it raised? I don't like that it's raised. You know what? I'm going to do that. I'm going to push it down. Come with my stay down, damn it. Okay, we're good now. So there it is. The QSB has been installed. Let's go ahead and do the hard part now, which is lifting the pins over on the chip on the other side of the board. Hopefully I've been doing this correctly and nothing goes haywire, because I'm all sweating up over here. And I'll do something with this same Kapton tape. I will actually hold the copper down over on this side like that, so that I can work in this area. I have to work in this area right here. This area right here, IC, what is it? IC 701. This is where we're going to lift pads. So that's important to this project. Here comes the difficult part. Let's zoom in. I have to lift and isolate 8 pins on IC 701, as you can see there. So I'm going to use a dental pick right here to get in between the pins. Okay, so by Voltar's recommendation, this is from a dental pick kit. It is thin enough that I can leverage and make the pins go up. So the technique is pretty much apply heat on the pad, and something that I noticed in his video that he didn't mention is what hands are you working with. So in my case, I mean, I'm right-handed, so but it looked like in his video he was using his right hand to manipulate the dental pick and the left hand to heat up the pad. So he would sort of do this little number right here. So since I'm right hand, I don't know, I have the feeling I need to do the opposite, but yeah, I think I'll do that. And just to I'll try with the first one, see what happens. Okay, I have to lift pins 80, which is this first one, 78, which is this is 80, 79, 78, this is 78, and then 77 right next to it, and then 74, which would be 80, 79, 78, 77, 75, 74. This is 74. And then lastly, 56. So all the way over on the other side. That's 51, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I have to lift all of those pins. Yeah, I'm gonna have to switch hands because yeah, it's kind of awkward for me. So all right, let's leverage the pin, and then I'll heat up the pad and see what happens. All right, so I'm heating up the pad right there. Okay. Ooh, that wasn't too hard. Look at that. Dang, that was easier than I thought. That's cool. When you listen to instructions, um, wow, that was pretty easy. Okay, now let's do what is that? 78. So this one's 80. This one's 79. This would be 78. All right. So, and also I want to point out that I'm using the J tip, which is a fine tip um, for the soldering iron. And also on this step, you do not need to pre-tin um, your soldering iron, because all you're doing is you're using it for heat. You're just heating up the pad and then lifting the pin. So again, this is 80, 78, 79, and then 78 is this one. So let's put the pick in first. Let's do that. And then I'm going to put it on the pad and then heat it up. Ooh, there you go. Oh wow, look at that. It just came right up. Wait, let's see. I want to pull it up. Let me straighten it out. There you go. Okay, perfect. Look at that. Let's straighten these up like that. Now, that's 80 and 78. And 77 is the one right next to it. So this one's 77. Let's put the pick in here. And then heat the pad up. Wow, look at that. I'm going to be real honest with you guys. This is pretty easy to follow. Yeah. It's not too bad. I'm going to have to move them straight up because I need to see the pads below, but I'll do that. I'll do that at the end. Okay, so since this is 77 right here, so again, 80, 79, 78, 77, 76, 75, and 74. This one's 74, which is the one underneath the C right away. Let me count again. I want to make sure. 80, 79, 78, 77, 76, 75, 74. So right there. All right, that's 74. So let's see. Let's heat up the pad right there. And then, ooh, look at that. Oops, I'm scratching off the surface. Careful now. Careful. All right, there we go. What did I do? Okay, there we go. And then on this side, and then 56. So again, let's count from left to right. This is 51. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right there. That's 56. Let's heat up the pad. There you go. That's 56 right there. Okay, perfect. Whew. All right, we're almost done here. We're almost done. Now let's turn it over because we need to focus on this side. And we're going to do, so I have on my notes here, I'll do that towards the end, that to just clean the pads underneath the pins just so that it's, there's no excess solder or anything. Okay, so next is 47. Where are we? So 47, which would be 50. This is 50, 49, 48, 47. These three right here, 47, 46, and 45. So let's do this. Since I'm going to work from right to left. That way, once I get 45 up, I have enough space to get 46 and then 47. So let's do that. 5. This is 45. Let's heat the pad up. Perfect. like that. And then 46 is right next to it, but since I already have this one pulled up, I can just, so it's easier, as you can see. Let's heat up the pad again. Oh, oh, there it is. Okay. That's 46. And then lastly, 47 is down here. There you go. Oops, don't want to go too far. There it is. Okay. So we've lifted all the pads. Let's just, you know, I want to get them out of the way. So I really want to look at like that. I have no plans to restore this board to original state, really. So that's absolutely fine. Let me just kind of do that. There you go. I want to do the same on the other side. I'm going to keep using my toothpick for here. This. That's 80. Let's just do sort of this number here. Okay, perfect. And then let's get these two all the way up. There you go. And then let's clean up those pads. Okay. And then let's do the other one. Let's clean that pad right here. Okay. And then lastly, this pad over here. And we are officially done. Perfect. Let's go in with a little cotton swab with alcohol. Let's just rub this area. Okay. That looks great. So here we are. I've lifted all the points on IC 701. And according to the instructions, that is all there is to do. It says, please make sure you have lifted the pins completely. They should have no contact with the motherboard. So we are done. Let's put this all back together. Okay, it's time to test it, really. Nothing else to do but to test it. Oh, I do have to install the ribbon cable. So here's a flex cable that I need to use. It goes this way, right? Let's open this up. Okay. It's just going to go in this way, like that. And I'll just tighten it up. All right, perfect. So there we have it. Now we're going to turn it, and then we're going to insert it in the console. Now let's do that right now. So I have my console right here. Now we have to be careful with that ribbon. And there we go. All right, so that's how that goes. Now we're going to put the metal shielding. I'm just brushing it a little bit here because it's kind of dirty. And then so Voltar in his video says to to pass this through the slit here. So it was 5 right here. This is 5. All right, now we're going to do this number here. All right, we're going to connect everything up. The power supply, the control ports, and okay, now the X station board is next. So here we have it. Here's the beauty of the X station. Okay. Now it has these standoffs, or I don't know what to call them, these footings or whatever they're called. Ooh, I got nice little stickers here. Pretty cool. And they go like this. One, two, three, and 4 right here. There we go. Just trying to be gentle. And then I believe, yeah, there we go. So that's how it sits on the console, you see? So those are the little standoffs. And then like that. So it's firmly in place. Okay, so what they say to do for this ribbon cable is to kind of do this and then go left, down, and then up. So sort of, so let's see, around, I want to say somewhere around there. Well, a slight little fold like that. So it has a slight fold. Oops. Like that, and then downwards. Okay, so I'm gonna do that right here. I kind of folded it a little bit too. Not at the right height, but that's fine. Okay, like that. And then downward. Sort of like that. And then finally it's going to come up here and make this connection. Like this. So I unclipped it and I insert it this way. Oops. Why am I having so much trouble? Okay, there we go. There we go. Perfect. And that's it. I'm done. That's the final product. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and prep the SD card, and I'll come back to record the final result. So hopefully all went well. Let's go prep the SD card, and I'll show you over there on my TV. I'm doing this here so that I can explain what happened. I hooked it up, and with the lid closed of the PS1, it was taking me to the please insert PlayStation format disc. So that means it was not reading the X station. So after a little research, I found that there's a picture with test points for all of the points on the on the QSB. So I made a list. I'll post it here next. And I went through all of the different points on the QSB until I found point 3. It had no connection. So I'll post a picture of what I'm talking about so y'all can see. But pretty much all the points except for one were not making a beep on my multimeter. And I'll show you which one. And that one was 3, which is this one right here. Okay. I don't know if you'll hear the beep through the mic, but this is point 3 that I'm pointing with the black lead. This is point 3, and it wasn't beeping before, so now it is. Now the connection point to this chip here is the 1, 2, 3. It's a fourth leg. So 1, 2, 3, 4 right here. So now it's beeping. Now it's making a connection. So hopefully that's going to solve the problem, because like I said, all of the points except for this one right there wasn't making a sound. So I had to come back in here. I already did the work, so sorry, you're not going to be able to see it. I already came back here with a wick. I absorbed all this solder, and pretty much what I did is with my tip, I made sure to go all the way down deep and make sure that the tip of the iron was touching the pad on the PCB. So I left it there for a few minutes, not a few minutes, a few seconds, and then so I pretty much started heating the pad, and then came in with the solder and started to fill in this whole circle in here. So what was probably happening is that I didn't put enough solder here, so the QSB wasn't properly making a connection to the pad on the board, and that's why I wasn't getting a beep. So now I am, which I am hopeful that I'm crossing my fingers that was the problem. So again, right there, now it's beeping. Okay, and I also redid this solder joint in this one too. So so you can see this one right here is going to beep with this one right in front of it, right across from it. And then this other one over here, I have to move. All right. This other one over here is going to beep with, so should be the fifth one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right there. It's not as consistent as I would like. So let's just go back in here and sort of let's see if that helped it. So again, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's this one right here. There you go. Okay, so that should be it. That should fix the problem. If it doesn't, I'm gonna freak out. I don't know. Maybe I won't. Maybe I will. That should fix the problem, because again, every other point that I checked made a sound without any problem. So yes, if you're doing this, make sure that all the solder points really make a good connection with the board underneath it. Because if it doesn't, then you're going to see problems like I did, where on boot it would take me to the screen that says please insert PlayStation format disk, which of course it's something you don't want to see. So yeah, again, all these other points worked. It was just that single one that didn't. Luckily, I found that picture online that was shared in the GitHub of the X station years ago. So we finally made it happen. I'm so happy to announce that the result of this project is positive and is amazing. I was able to troubleshoot the installation of the X station, and I'm so happy that I found the solution. Honestly, that picture I found online of all the test points for the QSB board, that was it. That was a solution. Luckily, my X station board was not defective. I stumbled across a video where they were talking about the micro SD slot on the X station board was actually defective and wasn't reading the micro SD. Luckily, that was not the problem for in my case, and I was able to go back and look at the QSB board and check point by point with my multimeter to check for a beep. And I found the one point that didn't have a beep, which was point number 3. And like I said, I went in with my soldering iron with my wick. I removed all of the solder. And it's funny because when I did that, the pad had no new solder on it once I removed the solder off of that point. And so basically all I did was, like I explained, I inserted the tip of the soldering iron and made sure to fill in the cavity with solder, and then the connection was made. So anyway, it was a good project. I completed it and it works. So if it's installed correctly, you see obviously the logo that we all know and love. It goes into that screen, and then it's gonna boot into the X station menu, which is right here.